Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel Magneq software. So in this video we are going to discuss about important topics in Java testing and Python, and what are the programs you need to prepare, and how to crack the interview, and focusing concepts in Java, Python and testing. So I am Sushma, so I am Python faculty. So totally I am having 8 years experience. So I need to give some tips to the students. So let us see first of all what are the topics we need to cover in Python. So first of all you need to learn about lists, sets, okay, dictionaries and tuples concepts. So these are the data structures in Python. So and you need to differentiate between lists and sets, or sets and dictionary, or lists and tuple. So we have to see some differences between them, and we need to focus on mainly OOPS topic. So when you are going to interview, definitely they are going to ask you one question for OOPS concepts. Okay, so mainly you need to focus on 5 concepts. So classes and objects, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance and polymorphism. So mainly you need to focus on all these 5 concepts, and after that you need to focus on exception handling. So how you can perform try, except and finally blocks. Okay, how to raise an exception in Python. So these are the main concepts you need to cover. As a fresher you need to focus on it, but when you are going as an experienced student you need to focus with these core concepts, and you need to focus on some advanced concepts also. What are iterators, what are generators, what is the difference between iterators and generators, and collections. Most of the people don't know what are the topics present in collections. So in Python, collections are nothing but, see, in Java collections are different and in Python collections are different. Okay, in collections topic mainly we need to discuss about a deep queue, DQ, heap queue and named tuple. These are the 3 important topics which you have learned in collections, and you should have a good knowledge on data structures. Experienced person, the people who are attending interview for experienced persons, they need to learn data structures mandatory. Sorting techniques is how to implement a stack, how to implement a queue, how to implement a linked list, trees, graphs. We have to learn all these concepts. Especially you need to focus on Django applications. Okay, how to develop web application, how to create a models in Django, how to create a templates in Django, and how to create views in model, view, template. So these are the 3 main things. So you need to prepare with one application, web application, and you need to focus on HTML, CSS, JavaScript also, and with one database. Either it is MySQL or SQL or SQL Lite 3. For Python we are using all these 3 databases. Any one of the database we can use based on our requirement. So you need to focus all these concepts when you are learning Python. Okay, for fresher, core Python is enough. So I already said you, OOPS topic is very important, and lists, sets, tuples and dictionaries and exception handling. These are the main topics you need to cover in interview. So next, programs. So coming to the programs, nowadays the people are asking more, the interviewers are asking more programs in arrays and strings. So for example, if you are discussing arrays topic, what type of questions they are asking? Find out the third minimum and maximum elements in the array, or move all the zeros at the end of the array, or rotate last 3 elements to left to right. Okay, and find out the frequency of array elements, and find out the longest prime number in the given array elements. So like that they are focusing on some questions in arrays. In the same way, strings. Coming to the strings, how to print a string in reverse order, whether the 2 strings are anagrams or not. This is also frequently they are asking, and string palindrome. Okay, they are asking string palindrome also, and they are asking how to remove a duplicate characters in a string, or find out the duplicate characters in a string. Okay, and how to remove spaces in the string. So some of the questions frequently they are asking based on either arrays or strings. You need to mainly focus on these programs, and how to crack a Python interview very easily. Okay, so while you are learning any subject, first of all you need to know the definition. For suppose if you are taking any topic, okay, OOPS topic is there, so you need to learn how to create a class, what is the definition of a class, what is the syntax for that, and for every concept you need to learn one program definitely. Why? Because when you are going to any interview, the interviewer may ask you, for suppose polymorphism is there, can you tell me one real time example? For suppose inheritance is there, can you tell me one real time example? Or write down the syntax for that, or write down one program for that. So when you are learning any topic, so please maintain some running notes. What are the topics we need to cover? What are the main points we are having? Make one diary and write down what are the important points you have to learn. So when you are going to interview, just refers one set. So that is the tip I am giving to the students, and focus on some of the websites like GitHub. See, they will ask you some typical questions for improving your logical skills. Okay, hacker rank is also you can improve your logical skills. So these are the two best websites I have observed. So they will ask you the different types of questions there, and you need to solve by taking 2 hours time or 1 hour time, how to solve it, how to improve your logical skills. By using that websites you can improve it. So regarding to Python, these are the tips. Okay, now Shashank sir will give Java interview tips. Sir.
Hello guys, I'm Shashank. I used to teach Java, Advanced Java and Java frameworks. So I will be telling you what are the important topics in Java which are very core for everything. Right, when it comes to Java, we'll be listening about generally OOPS concept. So we have to be thoroughly in the OOPS concept, especially encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism and abstraction. These are the vital very core concepts. Without those concepts, you cannot move to Advanced Java or Java frameworks, and you cannot develop any application at all. Those are the 4 important topics which are mandatory to develop any application. So, and at the same time, I want to remind you guys, along with that, we have exception handling and the collection framework. And these all topics are interconnected to each other. So we cannot say that only these are important. Means we have to stress at the topics. Means those are at the top layer. Whenever we talk about Java, generally the people used to tell, do you know the OOPS concept? In that way, we will get some idea. But each and every single thing in Java is interconnected. For example, if you talk about constructors, because of the constructors, we might get problem in the abstraction while achieving multiple inheritance, right? So in the same way, each and every single topic, you have to go through it by practicing. Without practical knowledge, if you are just learning the theory concept, and there is no use at all. I am telling you guys, you have to do it practically, it's mandatory. And one more thing I want to remind you, while learning Java, you have to practice with examples that makes you lot of interest. That is the only thing I want to tell you. And once again I am reminding you, OOPS concept, basic encapsulation, you should know how to write encapsulation practical example, as well as inheritance example, you should know how to write it practically, as well as you should know polymorphism, especially the method overriding concept, and abstraction using interfaces practically. If you know this practically, then you can easily move to the other topics also. Why you can move to the other topics? Just now I told you, everything is interconnected in Java. If you are good in these concepts, you can move further. And exception handling, where we come across some kind of problems where we are handling that exception. Exception handling is an easy topic. The only thing is you have to focus on how to utilize the custom exception. That is the main concept, as well as the difference between throw and throw keywords, throw keyword. And when it comes to collection framework, the collection framework, to understand that all these topics, whatever you have come across, this OOPS concept, constructor, abstraction, all those concepts are mixed up inside the collection framework. To understand the collection framework, you need to know what is method overriding, what is generalization, what is abstraction. All these things you should be knowing very well to understand the collection framework. So the only thing I want to tell you is, you have to focus on each and every single thing practically. If you are good in practical, definitely you can enjoy core Java. If you enjoy core Java while programming, you can easily excel in advanced Java as well as Java frameworks. When it comes to Java programs, obviously the same programs which are covered in Python, the same as in Java. In arrays, you have to focus on arrays and strings. When it comes to arrays, especially sorting algorithms, you should be very clear. Bubble sort, selection sort, insertion sort, merge sort. These are the easiest sorting algorithms. The only thing is you have to sit and trace the algorithms, how they are working by each and every for each and every iteration. If you are able to trace the elements, then easily you can understand the sorting algorithms. Then next, in the array problems, finding the second largest element of an array, finding the largest prime number in the array, and printing the duplicates from the given array. As well as when it comes to string, the basic program, you should know how to reverse the given string value, and printing the duplicates in the given string value, and finding the unique, means printing the unique elements from the given string. These are the basic programs. You have to be very clear, because in every interview, first they will be testing you by giving just basic programs, not the high level programs. If you are very good in these basic programs, you can just move to the other difficult programs. For programming, for practicing purpose, there is a very good website, that is CodingBat. First you go through CodingBat website, then later you can move to HackerRank based on your difficulty level. Then after, when it is coming to tracking the interview, so this is the most important topic that I am going to discuss about this now. Is cracking an interview is an easy thing, but where every student will be lagging, only the thing is communication skill. Communication skill in the sense, whatever the topic you know, you have to able to explain to the other person. They should easily understand. So that's where comes the communication. Communication plays very important role. So how to improve in this? Very easy thing. First you need to get some vocabulary. Vocabulary in the sense, some kind of examples in your mind. If you are not able to get some vocabulary, even me also, I cannot teach anyone Java properly. So even me faces lot of trouble while explaining some concepts, unable to get some words. For that purpose, what I used to do, I used to read some story books. I used to read some stories in Quora app. So that helps me a lot to explain any topic. Means I am able to get some English words. If I don't know any English word, how could I speak in English? Everyone will tell, okay, speak English, speak English. How it is possible if you don't know the vocabulary? So better I will tell you, read some stories in Quora application. Read in English. Then only you can get some words to speak in English. If you are good at that, automatically you can create your own statements while explaining Java also, which will be reflected during an interview. This is my tip from my side. Hope these things will be helpful for you. And next I am introducing you the Selenium trainer, who is for testing. So I will be telling you how to prepare for automation also.
Yeah, hi guys, and myself I'm Surya. So basically I am a software testing trainer and I can teach both manual and automation. So first of all, my topic is what to study for software testing. Guys, first we need to study what is a software testing first. We need to know the exact definition of what is software testing. Then we need to know how many testing types are there, like manual and automation. And basically you need to learn, first we need to choose the manual testing. So inside the manual testing, we need to know the basic terminologies like what is a defect and what is a bug and what is a failure and what is the need of testing in a software industry. And for that purpose, we are studying the development process. So for development process, we need to study software development life cycle. And when we are studying the software development life cycle, we are knowing the ideology about how many roles and responsibilities we have in a software industry. And second thing, we need to go for the testing technique use. Like to find a defect, our main intention is find the defect. So to finding the defects in testing, we need to follow verification and validation. First topic is development process we need to study, and the second topic is we need to study verification and validation. So in this verification and validation, we are getting a multiple types of testing. So these types of testing was helpful to test the application. And after that, we need to know exact testing process. Like for testing process purpose, we need to study software testing life cycle. And after that, inside the software testing life cycle, we need to know what to test and how to test. So for that purpose, we need to study test scenario and test case. So in test case, we are executing our test cases, we are finding the defects. So defect is nothing but a bug. So for that purpose, we need to study bug life cycle. Okay, so bug life cycle, it should be awareness to developer and as well as tester. And after the bug life cycle, finally we are going to study the test closure procedure, like software testing metrics. It is nothing but a calculations, like how many test cases are passed and how many fail, and how many requirements we are planned, and how many we are covered, and how much of bug percent is leaked, and how much of bug percentage we are released. And these all things we need to cover in a matrix. Guys, this manual testing is throughoutly going under theoretical oriented. Okay, so we are knowing how to test. In throughout manual testing, we are going that how to test. Like when we can approach this manual testing means, if there is a less testing process, this application required less testing, there is a no repeating test cases, then we can study the manual testing. Now when we can approach the automation testing means, when your application is a long term application, there is a lot of newly adding modules. So in this time, there is a regression testing type. So in this time, you can go with the automation testing. So guys, now how I can approach the automation testing means, so we need to study first one programming language, either Java or Python or C# or Perl and Ruby, whatever it is. But present market was, most of the companies was using Java with Selenium 2. So for that purpose, we need to study the Java. So in Java, we need to study that, like basic history and introduction of Java, and architecture of Java, and data types, and statements like looping and conditional, and we need to study the arrays like static and dynamic, and we need to study the string and string builder and string buffer. Then we are covering the basic concepts, and the main concept is oops. In that oops, you need to study and what is the class and what is the object and what is the encapsulation process and inheritance process and polymorphism and abstraction. In abstraction, we need to study the abstract and interface, and after that you need to choose the packages and access modifiers, and after that we need to study the exception handlings, and what is that, like keywords like try, catch, and finally, and true and truths. And after that we need to go for the wrapper classes ideology, and you need to study the collections. Inside the collections, I am not suggesting the overall collections. Why? Because while coming to the collections, it will taking a huge task. As a tester, okay, your main intention is you need to study the Selenium. So the collection is it is a huge topic. So mainly you need to focus on list, set, and map. Why I am saying list and set and map means, so throughout all concepts will be the basic things are these three things. One is it can access the duplicate, one cannot access the duplicate, and third one is it can access the pair things like key and values. So you need to focus on these three interfaces, and it contains some like array list class you need to study, and hash set and hash map you need to study. And focusing this concept is for, I am saying, for interview. For like course purpose, you need to study whole collection concept, but your intention is and job and interview purpose, and you need to go in a better way. Like I required a basic knowledge means you can study these things, but I required a depth knowledge, you can go with the vector and stack, and throughout all these things you can go. And my suggestion is you can go with the list and set and map. You can study this properly, these three topics. This is enough for Selenium. Okay, you have a interest, you can go with the another interfaces. Okay, so based on core Java, you need to focus these concepts, and with the core Java, you need to study, like basically guys, present days, each and every interview we are focusing some basic programming questions, like you need to focus the all numbering programs. I am saying this is important, this is not an important. Even natural numbers, whole numbers, and even numbers, odd numbers, prime numbers, and reverse of number, and Armstrong number, and swapping of number. Each and every programming, like numbering programs, you need to study, and as well as arrays programs, like how, like what is the for each loop in arrays, why for each loop using only for arrays, and like sorting of array from, and after that, like duplicates in array, and we need to study. And in string programs as well, like reverse of string, swapping of string, and we need to study like the occurrence of character in string. So these are the basic concepts we need to study in a string. These are the concepts enough for automation. Now for automation testing, we need to study the tool. One tool is there, the tool name is Selenium tool. In that Selenium, we need to study what is Selenium, advantages and disadvantages, and what inside that there is a 4 components, and what is WebDriver, and why we are using WebDriver, and what are the methods followed by WebDriver, and we need to study basics of HTML locators like ID, class, XPath, and after that we need to study what is a web element. Guys, these all things are followed in a web application, and we require a basic knowledge of HTML as well here. And what is a web element, and how we are finding the web element, and how we are automating the web applications. And as well as we need to know like how can create HTML tables, and how can handle the tables, and how can create the text boxes, and how can we handle the text boxes, and each and every web element topic, either radio button and drop downs, and these all things. And again we need to know the how to handle alerts and windows and pop-ups and frames, and how to handle the like we need to say simply mouse actions, how to right click and how to double click on, how to drag and drop. These things is enough. And with the Selenium tool, we need to study the framework like TestNG. TestNG is one of the frameworks. It was inspired from JUnit and NUnit. Like Java also we are using the JUnit, .NET we are using NUnit. For testing purpose we are using TestNG. It is test for next generation. Inside the TestNG we need to know basic attributes and alternate test annotation, parameterization and data provider, and we need to know the .xml file and listeners and extend reports, and how can we run the failed test cases. These topics is enough. Now here we required a build management tool. It is nothing but a Maven. And what is a Maven and Maven lifecycle? How we are running the programs and how it will execute internally, and how we are getting the reports in Maven. And finally we need to go with the data provider which can access by Excel files. To handle these Excels, we need to know Apache PyJar. What is that? Apache PyJar. And what is this Apache? And what is the Surefire plugin? And how we are adding the dependencies? And what is the difference between normal build management tool and Maven build management? And finally, we are going for basic frameworks like data driven and modular driven and keyword driven and hybrid and linear. And presently, guys, most of the companies was like looking for Cucumber framework. It is nothing but a BDD, behavior driven development framework. And you have like you have some more interest to study the API testing, you can go with the API testing also. For API testing, you need to study SOAP UI and Postman tools. Like API also having manual API and automation API. You can go with the Postman tool and SOAP UI tool you can approach. And some companies are asking mobile testing, mobile application testing. For mobile application testing, we have a APM is the separate tool. But guys, my suggestion is for better future, you can go with the Java with Selenium. Why? Because Selenium is a open source and there is a huge openings for Selenium with Java. Okay, so that's why you can choose your career as a basics of manual testing and core Java with Selenium too. And you need to study basic frameworks. It was including inside the course. And my main tip is, I am not able to say this is the important, this is not important. You need to follow each and every class. Please prepare on time. Today class you need to prepare on that time only. Okay, then you can achieve your easily you can achieve your goal in a software testing. And the main interest, if you have a good analytical skills, then you can choose software testing. And there is another one rule. some peoples are interesting with the testing and as well as development. So I need to grow my career as a developer, and I need to do my testing, and I no need separate tester. I need to develop and I need to test. Then you can go with the SDET. Okay, it can include full stack Java and as well as full stack Python or full stack testing. So the role is known as SDET, software development engineering in testing. Okay guys, so that's all in software testing. And okay, yeah, okay guys, so this is our topic. If you are like this type of videos, and
So please comment in the
like-
comment box.
yeah,
Please like,
Like,
share
share
and
and
subscribe
subscribe.
Magneq
Magneq
Software.